Yo, what is going on? We have been on vacation. We have been on a hiatus. We have been all over the place, but it was my birthday. I turned 23. I took a trip to Vegas. I watched my team play the Chicago Bears and almost cried. That game was a heartbreaker. Blocked field goal, brutal, especially after an entire weekend of getting smoked by blackjack dealers in Vegas. But that's not what you guys are here to hear about. You guys are here to hear about the NFL through 5 weeks. First off, I'd just like to start off the podcast by just saying if I was an NFL head coach, if you drop the ball crossing into the end zone, you're cut on the spot. Instant, instant rule to my team, especially if my team's not loaded with superstars. If I'm the coach of the Cardinals, I think it's Jonathan Gannon, you're cut. DeMercado, or however you say his name, the Jonah Hill meme, bro. Get him out of here. He'd be gone. That said, let me we can move past that. I think one of the things that we're going to work on today is through 5 weeks we're gonna do the Matt Noseball report card on my takes. I've got 5 takes that I was big time wrong on, 5 takes that I was big time right on, and then we have a bit of a wild card. So the first take that I just want to come out and say I was wrong, and I want to apologize to the Chargers. Now, while they've been healthy, with assuming, okay, not assuming, I mean, when they were healthy with Rashawn Slater out, but everybody else was still playing because we knew he was out before the season, they looked awesome. Joe Alt went down. Omari and Hampton went down. They just traded for Odafe Owe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from the Ravens today. I think that was a good move. That's good help on the edge while Khalil Mack is out. But the Chargers have looked great. They're letting Justin Herbert throw the ball. Weirdly, the run game hasn't looked that great besides Hampton, and Hampton is on IR. And I believe Najee Harris tore his ACL. So this run game is going to suck. Joe Alt's hurt, so the O-line is going to be questionable. But the Chargers proved to me the first couple weeks that they were much better than I thought they would be without Rashawn Slater. I thought that their offensive line was going to be in serious trouble. I underestimated how good Mekhi Becton and Joe Alt would kind of just make the O-line on their own, to be honest with you. Those two dudes were the reason that O-line was acceptable. Chargers proved me wrong. Their defense looks awesome. One of the most stingy defenses in the NFL in the red zone. Derwin James is just a dog. Khalil Mack, dog. He was lighting up my Raiders, unfortunately, as to be expected anytime that he plays the Raiders. I do love that guy, though. Even though he's not on my team, even though he shits on my team every time he plays us, I love Khalil Mack. But the Chargers and the Chargers fans, I'm sorry. I was wrong so far. We'll see. Through 5 weeks, the take I've been the most wrong about. What did you expect? My Las Vegas Raiders. I thought that we could be a 9-win team, potentially be competing for a playoff spot. I wasn't super confident in that, but I figured, think about it. Last year we had probably the worst quarterback situation in the NFL, if not the worst, top 3 worst. We had one of the worst coaching situations in the NFL, if not the worst, bottom 3. We had probably easily the worst run game in the NFL last year with Zamir White, Sincere McCormick, and Dylan Laube, however the hell you say that guy's name. Our offensive line was terrible. Our defense was mid. It wasn't mid. Our defense was actually decent last year. But I expected a turnaround from my Raiders. I expected Geno Smith to come in and play like, at worst, like the 14th best quarterback in the NFL. That has not been the case. Geno Smith has been the worst starting quarterback in the NFL this year. So a true heartbreaker. I was at the game, boots on the ground, with the Vegas fans who were saying that they were going to kill Geno Smith, which is not something that I condone or support. But I understand saying it. Geno Smith has been an embarrassment to Pete Carroll, an embarrassment to John Spytek, who I believe just did this because of Pete Carroll. An embarrassment to Tom Brady and an embarrassment to Mark Davis. All I can do is hope that he turns it around. I will still support Geno no matter what in terms of because he's the quarterback of my team. I will continue to go to bat for Geno Smith. He was good in Seattle. I believe that he has the ability to be good in Las Vegas. But through the first 5 weeks, this dude has been atrocious. I don't know what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. A big part of this also has been that our offensive line has been at best bottom third of the league. DJ Glaze has been decent. Colton Miller was playing fantastic football and got hurt. Jackson Powers Johnson is still playing guard for some reason. This guy should be playing center. Jordan Meredith, our starting center, has been wicked, atrocious, disgusting, horrendous. It's a shame. We have a bunch of young guys. Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers. Those are young guys who I think could come in and make an impact on the offensive line. But Geno Smith. I believe he has 9 picks in 5 games. Every time that we play against a team that sends any pressure at him, he throws 2 to 3 picks a game. And really, the worst part for me is that it's not like Jameis Winston picks. It's not Jameis Winston picks where you're throwing deep bombs to guys and they get picked off, or you throw for 4 touchdowns, but you throw for 3 picks. I could live with that. It would suck still, but I could live with. I could live if he wanted to go 30 for 30. But we can't go 0 for 3, bro. We can't go no touchdowns, 3 picks every other game, man. And really the worst part to me is that we have guys. Like, if you wanted to just chuck deep shots, you could do that to Dante Thornton, Brock Bowers. You could throw jump balls to the big guys on the team. You could throw contested catches to Jacoby Myers. He has awesome hands. He's maybe not a jump ball, but you could throw a lot of contested catches to that guy. But instead, it's like triple coverage Trey Tucker passes. I don't know what that is. I don't know what this is with him trying to fit in these like tight window throws. It almost feels like a young quarterback who gets paid and now he feels like he has to prove he's worth the money. Except that's not the case. We just need you not to turn the football over. We just need to run the ball and have a good, efficient offense. Pete Carroll hates turnovers, and all that you've done so far is turnover. It makes me sick. I really thought that we would at least be like 2-3. Hopefully be 3-2. I mean, I expected that we would lose to the Chargers, and I expected that we would lose at least one other game. I thought that we were going to beat the Bears. We should have beat the Bears. Max Crosby played out of his mind against the Bears, and it was sickening. We should have beat the Commanders too, actually. Realistically, if this team was at the level I thought it was going to be, we were going to be at minimum 3-2. We beat the Patriots. We should have beat the Commanders. They started Marcus Mariota, and we got 40-balled. And we should have beat the Bears. It's truly sickening. Thank God for Max Crosby. He is the only reason our defense is enjoyable to watch. He's such a fucking animal. I love that guy. Genty is playing well. I was at the game. I bought his jersey. He scored 3 touchdowns. I was losing my mind. I lost my voice. I didn't do a podcast. I lost my voice. Brock Bowers is a monster. He's been banged up. I just can't stand watching a guy throw into triple coverage to a 5'9" receiver. What are we doing? I know guys who suck at Madden and won't make that pass. It's sickening. I don't know what the solution is. In the Colts game, he threw like one of the worst passes I've ever seen to that check down. I think it was for a pick 6 too. It was terrible, dude. It was like a regular hard flat, and he just throws straight into I don't even know who it was. Just threw straight into his hands, like he wasn't there. I'm not gonna go. I know I just did like 7 minutes on the Raiders. This is really, truly, I could do an hour and a half on the Raiders. And if you really want me to, you can. You can ask. I'll do it. But our secondary been significantly better than I thought it would be. It's not good, but I thought it was going to be like worst in the league, and it has not been that bad. Our run blocking has improved, but our pass blocking is atrocious. Geno's under a lot of pressure, and when Geno gets under pressure, he makes poor decisions. we'll go to the next thing I was wrong about. Number 3 thing I was wrong about was your Pittsburgh Steelers. They look good, man. I love Aaron Rodgers. I really do. He's probably my favorite player in the history of professional football who's not a Raider. He came from Cal. I owned his Cal jersey. I have his Packers jersey. I got family that watch the guy play. I love Aaron Rodgers. That said, I did not believe in the Steelers this year. He's cooking in his old age, man. I was right. I thought that Aaron Rodgers was going to look a lot better this year than he did on the Jets because I really don't think that Achilles is a 1-year injury. I think it takes a lot of time to get back to being yourself after an Achilles. A lot of people just come back as soon as you're medically cleared and just go. But I just figured that the Steelers offense was going to be mid. I figured it was going to be another slow, grind to a halt Steelers offense followed with a good defense. Weirdly, it's been the complete opposite. The Steelers offense looks good, if not very good. Aaron Rodgers is slinging it. Pat Freiermuth dropped one of the greatest passes I've ever seen. If you know, you know. DK Metcalf looks shockingly good over here. The offensive line does not look that bad. I expected it to be bad. And honestly, the run game, not great, but the Steelers' offense is working. I don't know what it is. The Steelers have so far got it figured out. It's been a lot of nasty wins. It's been a lot of gross wins. But their defense has been a huge disappointment to me. I thought they were going to be much better than this. You traded Minkah Fitzpatrick, but you still have TJ Watt. You still have Derek Harmon. I hope that's the guy's name. Terrible with names. They have fantastic defensive personnel. I think they're number 1 in the league in defensive spending in the salary cap. So I expected much, much, much better from the Steelers on the defensive side of the ball. But Aaron Rodgers looks like he's 36. I know that's not young, but he looks like he could still sling it. I don't know if that'll ever leave him. That dude has the most effortless, most beautiful ball. It makes me jealous. I wish I had that release. When I throw a football, shit hurts my shoulder. I don't know what it is. Every time there's something up with the way I bring my elbow forward. I just wish I've been working on that though. I just wish that I could throw a ball the way Aaron Rodgers throws a football. While we're here, side take. I think that is the greatest arm in NFL history. Greatest arm talent ever. Most talented player ever, in my opinion. A lot of people have been talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's up there. Elway's up there. Marino's up there. Mahomes is up there. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback in the history of professional football. He did it all. He was escapable. He was a good leader. I don't care what the media says. He was a good leader. He was insanely accurate everywhere on the field and even more accurate on the most accurate deep ball thrower I've ever seen in my life. Even the best Hail Mary passer I've ever seen in my life. He was the best under pressure. He was the best while getting hit. And he's showing that he was. He's showing a bit of what he was right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love to see it. Team number 4 that I was wrong about. The Dallas Cowboys. You heard it here first. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I really do. My friend is a Dallas Cowboys fan. He's one of the most annoying individuals when it comes to sports I've ever met in my life. I will be sending him the clip of this, and he will be annoyed by it. He's annoying as shit because he's a Cowboys fan. I did not think this run game was going to be good. My friend, my football-knowing friend, Xavier, he told me Javonte Williams is going to make this run game look decent. If not good. And I said, fuck you, Javonte Williams is not that good. And Javonte Williams has been that good. I don't know what it is. I don't really think the offensive line has been good. Offensive line has been good. Not great, but good. Maybe very good. Maybe very good. But Javonte Williams looks awesome. I figured that the pass game and Dak Prescott were going to look awesome this year. I did not trust the Brian Schottenheimer hire. He has been awesome. The Cowboys actually look like a well-coached football team. I mean, they almost beat the Eagles. They almost beat the Packers. They're better than their record suggests. And I don't think if Jaden Daniels continues to be banged up, I don't think it's impossible for them to finish second in that division. I still don't think they're a playoff team, but I just want to give a shout out to Dallas. Dak Prescott might have played one of his best games as a pro against the Packers. I mean, that he's playing his ass off, and that's without CeeDee Lamb. I figured he was going to be awesome because of the receiving core, because of the talent. He has a good O-line. I like the rookie they drafted, Tyler Booker. They have like 7 Tylers on the offensive line. They had Tyler Booker, Tyler Guyton, and Tyler Smith. A lot of Tylers. But the Tylers are doing a great job in the pass block. And honestly, pretty good in the run, too. Another team I was wrong about, the Indianapolis Colts. And let me tell you something. Just because I'm saying I was wrong doesn't mean I don't still believe what I believed. I don't believe in the Colts. I still don't, but I'll come out here and I'll say I was wrong. Because right now they're 4-1, and they just kicked the shit out of my Raiders. I still don't believe in them. They just kicked my team's ass. I think they're a good, solid team with good, solid pieces. I kind of thought that before, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't think Daniel Jones had this in him. They have a good offensive line. They have a great running back in Jonathan Taylor. He looks like Marshawn Lynch right now. He's playing his ass off. They have an acceptable wide receiver core that I think is becoming a little bit overrated. Adonai Mitchell. What's his face? Oh, that's a bad look. Michael Pittman. These guys are good. Let's not act like they have some insane receiver core. I don't really trust their receiver core too much. I forgot the guy's name, so I'm looking it up. Josh Downs, Alec Pierce. Don't get me wrong. These guys are good. They're not the best receiver core in the league, that's for sure. But the defense has really been what surprised me. The defense has been much better than I thought. I know who's on the defense. I know that they had talent, but I just didn't think it was going to work out because I figured the offense was going to be really bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ebukum, however you say his name, is great. I like Latu. Is it Charles Cross? No, Nick Cross. Charles Cross is our backup tackle, I think. Yeah, Nick Cross, DeForest Buckner. They have talent. Zaire Franklin. They have good players on this team. I just didn't. Kenny Moore, Charvarius Ward. I just didn't think that this team was going to be that talented, honestly. I saw the paper. I know what's on paper. We knew that they were a quarterback away from being a good team. But I just didn't think they were going to get that. And I'm still waiting for the clock to strike midnight on Daniel Jones. We'll see if it does. We'll see if I'm an idiot. I never thought Daniel Jones was a terrible quarterback. I just don't think he's the most talented quarterback. So I'm not expecting him to, turn a franchise around. Now, maybe he goes Sam Darnold and they win 11 games and we're all like, holy shit, Daniel Jones, and they pay him $1 billion and then he sucks. I'm not saying that's what happened with Sam Darnold, but maybe he's doing the same thing he did to the Giants. But I do like Daniel Jones. He's mobile, but I just don't trust. I don't trust this to continue. I was wrong, and after seeing how Daniel Jones played in game 1, I could have told you, okay, the Colts are going to be a good team. Colts are going to be a good, solid football team. I don't think they're going to continue to be on the pace they're on right now, which is 4-1 after beating the Broncos, after beating good teams. I can't trust that to continue. I'm just going to hold out on that, and we're just going to see if I was wrong. I said they beat good teams. They beat the Broncos. They lost to the Rams. They beat the Raiders, the Titans, and the Dolphins. So my bad for saying they beat good teams, but they beat the Broncos, who then beat the Eagles. They got lucky to beat the Broncos, but they did beat the Broncos. So I got to give them a little bit of credit, but kind of soft schedule. I was wrong. I forgot about the teams that they've played. Kind of a soft schedule so far. They have beat a good team, but I don't trust this team to continue down this path. Now we got the wrongs out of the way. Now it's for the fun part. What was I right about? What did Matt tell you that you didn't believe? I was hugely right about the Seattle Seahawks. I know they're only 3-2 right now. They've been much better than their record. Their offensive line play has been significantly better than the last year. JSN is looking like a top 5 receiver in the NFL. I have him in both my fantasy leagues, or 2 of my 3 fantasy leagues. If Mike McDonald was an offensive coordinator, offensive coach, we would talk about him the same way we talked about Mike McDaniel or Kyle Shanahan or Kevin O'Connell. This dude is a defensive genius. He is an elite coach in the NFL. I don't know about elite. I don't know where you draw the line of elite. He's a very, very good coach. I like the way their defense plays. Darnold looks great. He should have been a Raider. I wanted him way more than I wanted Geno. I'm sure he would have came to our team and he would have looked like shit anyway, so who actually cares? He probably would have played shitty because he would have been on the Raiders. I think I said before the season, I think the sleeper pick to win the NFC West was the Seahawks. I think I went with the Rams, but they're competing. I think the Seahawks still could win the division. I'm not going to do too much Seattle talk, but I'm very impressed with their defense. I'm very impressed with Sam Darnold, and I think they're much better than their record shows. The Seahawks are a team, even if they go 10-8, 10-7, 9-8, 8-9, they're not a team you want to play. You do not want to play the Seattle Seahawks. Kenneth Walker's been great. All his touchdowns are getting hawked by Zach Charbonnet, which I love because my buddy's got Kenneth Walker in fantasy. Another team that I was right about. Duval. Jacksonville. I thought they would compete to win the division. I didn't have the balls to pick them to win the division, but I love this team. I hate to say it, I love Trevor Lawrence. I know that he's not that good. I love him. It's like when you love like a third option in the NBA. When somebody just tells you they love Jeremy Grant, you're like, I respect that. I love Trevor Lawrence. I don't know why. I love a big, strong quarterback who can move. It gets me fired up. I like my quarterbacks 6'4", tall, big arm, a lot of accolades. It's what I like. I like Justin Herbert. I liked Phillip Rivers. I liked Big Ben. I like Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence can somehow find a way back to playing like a top 15 to 12 quarterback in the NFL, this team will be a playoff team. They just beat the Chiefs. This isn't an overreaction. I'll pull the tape. I said before the season that the Jaguars would be good. Travis Hunter weirdly has been kind of disappointing, but I like Jacksonville. I think they are actually going to win the division. I don't like the Texans, and I think not that I don't like the Texans. I love the Texans defense, but the Texans offense has been an absolute shit show because they have no offensive linemen. They got me out there. If you want a guy who's going to give up some sacks, I will do it for way less money than the Texans offensive line. I'm 6'6". I'm 300 pounds. You need a guy to go in there, go like this a couple times, and get ran the fuck over and get CJ Stroud hit. Houston, call me. I've never played a snap of offensive line in my life. I will give it a shot. I love it. You can pay me like $100 grand a year. I'm out there. That'd be sick. But I'll do it for way cheaper than that offensive line. Another team I was hugely right about, the Miami Dolphins. Weirdly, somehow they've improved during the season, but they are what I thought they were. They're terrible. They're soft. They're not motivated. And they're a disappointment. It's hard to win in Miami. Everybody's clubbing. There's Puerto Rican hoolas everywhere. It's a terrible place to try and win football games. And somehow there's a year where they went undefeated. The only win that the Miami Dolphins have this year is against the 0-5 Jets. They got smoked by the Panthers. Tyreek's knee was facing the wrong direction. It almost made me throw up. That was some sick shit. Obviously, you hope a team stays healthy. Obviously, you hope that Tua stays okay because that guy is scary. The Dolphins suck. The Dolphins are going to suck. I was right about the Dolphins. And when Mike McDaniel inevitably gets fired, I hope he gets a really good OC job somewhere because he seems like a cool dude. And I think that he's a great offensive coordinator, but there's some guys who were born to be offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators, and there's some guys who were born to be coaches. And I don't think Mike McDaniel has that bravado, that motivational aspect, that dog, that there's something about it, man. A football coach, you kind of got to come in and big dog. You got to be something. You don't want some little dorky guy. I love Mike McDaniel. I really do. He's hilarious. I think he's a genius. But I think you have to command respect with your team, which is weirdly a thing that of all the people who I thought would do this, it was not going to be Liam Cohen. But he's kind of growing the beard out. Kind of got a tough guy thing going on right now. Like he's kind of being a little bit less goofy. Not to do too much Jags glazing, but he's kind of, you know what I mean? He's trying to like put on the I'm not some dork. We're here to play football thing. Jacksonville's defense looks awesome, by the way. Shout out their DC. But Miami, unfortunately, I think Mike McDaniel is cut out to be a coordinator. I think that's just what it is. I don't think that he's a great leader of men. I think that he's a good, fun guy. He's a guy you'd love in the locker room. You'd love to go talk to Mike McDaniel. You'd love to shoot the shit with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's a guy I'm sure the players text on their days off. Hey, bro, guess what happened? Ha ha ha. Ah. But unfortunately, sometimes you need a Dan Campbell. You need a guy who kind of feels like he would punch you in the face. Mike Vrabel. You need somebody who's going to command some fucking respect. You're not showing up late to my practices, bro. Lock in. We're paying you $100 million. Get the fuck off get off your couch in time and come to practice before I kill you. You need a bit of that. Nick Sirianni, I hate that guy. But he's fucking crazy. Nick Sirianni, if you show up late to his practice, I wouldn't be shocked if he cut you from the team. Now, he's kind of a player's coach too. But there's a balance. Andy Reid's a fun guy. Andy Reid is a guy I'd love to go have a drink with. Andy Reid's a guy I'd love to just sit down and just pick his brain about football all day. But also, if I played for Andy Reid, I wouldn't want to piss that guy off. He's got a little bit of that stoic Viking face. The dude was at a playoff game with icicles on his mustache. Like, there's just a certain level. You have to be a bit of a dog. You have to be like Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is a really fun, motivational, and so are the Harbaughs. They're very motivating, but you run through a wall for that guy. There has to be that level, not just the big tough guy thing, but if it's not going to be that, your team has to be so motivated. They have to be willing to run through a wall. They have to be willing to kill. They have to be willing to die for you to win football games. And I don't think that comes from Mike McDaniel. Love the guy. Come be an OC for the Raiders. Tampa Bay. I think this might be, so far, the take that I have that's aging the best. Preseason, I said Emeka Egbuka is going to be fucking awesome. Well, guess what? He's been fucking awesome. And I said that the Bucs were going to be competing for the 1 seed. They're competing for the 1 seed. And I said Baker's going to be competing for MVP. Hit the nail on the head. This is one of my better takes this season. I hope that they continue to prove me right. I believe in Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is a junkyard dog. Baker Mayfield plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's a killer. He's clutch. He's probably one of my 5 favorite players in the NFL who aren't Raiders. He is a dog. I love Baker Mayfield. I love their creamsicle jerseys. I love Tampa Bay. I like their coach, Todd Bowles. Another guy I would not want to piss off. I like everything about the Bucs. They're injury prone as hell, and they just go out and get it done. If Baker wins MVP, Emeka Egbuka wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and they win, and they are the 1 seed, I deserve tickets to something. Because I'm going to play the tape on that. There's not a lot of people having that take. The Patriots. I was right about the Patriots. I said they could compete for the playoffs, and they've been good. What did I say earlier? I like big, strong quarterbacks who can throw the ball. And if they can move well, that's a nice plus. I love Drake May. Drake May's a stud. He's a stud. I love the way that their defense plays. I love Mike Vrabel. I like how aggressive their team is. I like how physical their team is. I like the fact they don't play no shit. I like the fact that Christian Gonzalez is a top 3 to top 5 corner in the NFL minimum. He's an animal, and they just beat the Bills. They beat the Bills. They're on the doorstep of destiny. I'm just fucking around, but shout out Kevin Wildes. I love this Patriots team. We beat them. So maybe that's a bad thing. But I did say they'd compete for the playoffs, and I do think they will. So I was right about that. Now, this is the wild card. This is the interesting one that I just want to talk about because we're doing Matt's report card. Was Matt right? Was Matt wrong? Who was Matt wrong about? Who was Matt right about? Well, guess what? I was right and I was wrong about the San Francisco 49ers. This is the most confusing thing ever. I was massively right and massively wrong. I said they'd win 9 games, maybe. That was I probably was wrong about that. They look pretty good. I think they're 4-1 now. I said they would be brutally injury riddled, which is why I thought they would win 9 games. I was right about that. They are brutally injury riddled. And I said that I never understood why Kyle Shanahan is quote unquote on the hot seat to some people, or people who are like, I don't like Kyle Shanahan. He doesn't get it done in the big games. This is why I love Kyle Shanahan. I hate the Niners. I respect the hell out of Kyle Shanahan. That dude, you could put any guy who has quick processing, gets rid of the ball quick, put him in the Kyle Shanahan offense, he's going to look great. Mac Jones could have done it. Mac Jones is doing it. Brock Purdy can do it. Jimmy G can do it. If you put a game manager who slings the rock quickly, 1-2 step, balls out, could you imagine if this guy had Jared Goff? I was completely right about the fact that they were going to be extremely hurt, but I was completely wrong about, as much as I was high on Kyle Shanahan and I believe in him, I was completely wrong about his ability to just keep winning, even with all the injuries. Because I thought one of those injuries was going to be CMC. CMC has stayed healthy so far. I would not bet my money on that, so maybe the 9 games take ends up being right if that guy gets hurt. But so far, this has just been a Kyle Shanahan masterclass, and I have nothing but respect for that dude. And I was right about thinking that a guy like Mac Jones could come in and play awesome in the system. Mac Jones could do it. Jared Goff could do it. Jimmy G could do it. Matt Stafford could do it. There's a lot of guys in this league who could do a 3-step drop and get rid of the ball quick. Tua would look awesome if he played with Kyle Shanahan. You want to know why? Because he looked awesome with Mike McDaniel, and they run damn near the same shit. Any QB who's really smart, really good processor, gets rid of the ball quick, going to look good. But shout out Kyle Shanahan. Shout out the Niners. We'll see if I was right about the amount of games that they win. I didn't have them winning the division. We'll see if they do win the division. That was the Matt report card. We did a whole half hour. We're coming out with bets tomorrow on Thursday Night Football. We'll cover that. And, yeah,